Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Coco McMillan Show. You may have seen her in Morocco, New York City, Los Angeles, California, Detroit, Philadelphia, Chicago, Las Vegas, Nevada. One of the background singers for Mickey Howard and the late, great Gerald Levert. Ladies and gentlemen, your host, the beautiful, the wonderful, the spectacular, Miss Coco McMillan.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to the Coco McMillan Show. I am so excited that you're here with me today. Please share and invite your friends to spend this next hour with me. It's going to be a great show. I'm so glad that you're joining. Again, the Coco McMillan Show is set up a platform for entertainers, for singers, for musicians that want to promote their music. That's either getting started in the music business and you want some tips, please make sure that you give me a call. It's also for business owners that you're starting your business, you want to make some connections or you want to promote your business, and as well as social media. If you are just really savvy in social media and want to come on and talk us about some tips and give us some nuggets, you're certainly welcome as well. We're also going to be discussing mental and health issues. And when I talk about mental and health issues, I'm talking about your physical health. You know, what are the things that you're eating, that you're putting into your body, some of the tips and things that you can do to stay healthy, some things that you can do to stay connected in the health environment, as well as mental health. When we're talking about people that are going through depression, people that are going through mental illness and really don't know how to deal with it, or they need some experts. We're going to have the experts on with us and to give you some advice on what you need to do for mental and physical health. One of the important things on the show that we're going to discuss really soon, when we're talking about physical health, we're talking about people that's dealing with diabetes. We're talking about you're dealing with cancer, heart conditions, fibroids. One of the things that I dealt with for a very long time was fibroids. And I really want to discuss that issue with some of the women because a lot of people don't know about it or how it can affect you. And so we're going to be giving advice and just giving you nuggets of how to, even deal with fibroids. So all of those things are connected here at the Coco McMillan Show. If you would like to be a part of the show, please make sure you email me at Coco McMillan Music at gmail.com. Again, that's Coco McMillan Music at gmail.com. If you want to check me out on my website, please do so. My website is www.cocomcmillanmusic.com. So it's awesome. It's going to be an awesome show tonight and weeks to come. We have some very special guests that's going to be on the show. Again, Tavis Harris. We have Marshetta Parker. We have Gerald Hinton. We have some of the girls that used to sing with me. I used to call them the Coco Puffs, but that is Clarice Gerald, Tiffany, India, Juanita. I hope you're watching because get ready to be on the show. So those are some of the things that we have lined up for you. I'm so excited because I've been doing this show for a couple of weeks now, and we have had some very amazing artists on the show. We started off with In Front, which is a group that I'm a part of. It consists of the background singers for the late Gerald Levert. That's Miss Tia Stewart, Sharina Wynn, Stacy Richardson, and myself. Have now formed a group called In Front, giving you some positive, clean music that you can listen to. And it's something that we always wanted to do. It is produced by Mr. Herb Middleton of Moontown Records, fabulous producer, awesome. And we have a great team putting together on the songs that's coming out, the video. So again, make sure you check out In Front. And our website, our YouTube page, and make sure you go buy the album. Okay, these songs we got out. Make sure you take that out. Also, we've had on the show Mr. Aaron McCord, amazing saxophone player from the Raleigh area. He's with the Who's Bad Band. We also had last week Miss Kim Person and Cynthia Jones, my girls here from Raleigh, North Carolina, both Stella Award nominees. They are fabulous. I hope that you watched the show because it was some really good information that they presented. And that's one of the things that I want to do when we're talking to these entertainers that's been doing this for a very long time. I just want to walk into their life and let them share with you some of the things that they have experienced, some of the things that they went through. It's not all easy being in entertainment. There's so many things that you can do, but the path sometimes is not as easy as you think it's going to be. And when I bring these artists on here, I like for them to talk about some of the things that they have experienced, and some of their experiences on the road or just life itself. Some of the challenges, because there is challenges, but the great thing about it is we know that if you have God on your side, there's nothing that you can't do because he is the author and the finisher. All you have to do is just trust in him. Tell him what you want. Tell him your problems. Tell him your dreams. Tell him everything that you want to see happen, and he will make it happen for you. Will it be easy? No. Is there a process? Yes. So you have to go through the process. I'm telling you this because I've been through it and still going through it. And the experience is real. Some things I never thought that I would go through and experience, but I did. But the great thing about it is I know that God is on my side and I can trust him with all my heart to do everything that I have prayed for him to do. So I'm so excited, about the journey, even the journey for you. And again, that's what this platform is for. It's for you, to talk about your experiences, to talk about some of your challenges. The other day, I was driving downtown and I saw this young man um, outside there, and he was playing his guitar. He's playing his guitar, and I walked up to him. I said, "Oh, young man, your music is fabulous. I love what you're doing. You sound great." And he said to me, "Thank you, thank you. I wish that everybody else felt that way, to give me a chance or to give me an opportunity or just to stop by and say they enjoyed it." He said, "Because after I leave here, I'll be returning to a homeless shelter." And that really touched me because my heart went out to him. I've never been in that particular situation before, but I've been in situations. And when you're going through challenges and you have distractions and you want to pursue um, your music and you want to get out there, you want to be heard, and sometimes you don't have the tools, you don't have the opportunity, you don't have the support. It's so hard to move forward when you're distracted by a lot of things, when you're distracted by just life and not allowing you the opportunity. So I wanted to do something and start something here, and I'm so grateful for the people that have allowed me to do this, to share this information with you, to bring you on the show to talk about your experiences, because they always tell you, even in your experience, your testimony, somebody is delivered by it. Somebody is it just takes them and change their whole self-esteem, their aspirations of life. So you never know how you can help somebody, just by telling them your testimony or just sharing the message, because there's somebody out there to help you. So I just wanted to share that with you and to let you know this platform is for you. It doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter your race. It doesn't matter your gender. We want to help you. So help me help you make your dreams come true. That is what this show is designed for. And it's so much to cover, so much to talk about. A little later, we're going to have some special guests coming in, but I just wanted to pause for a minute to really dig deep and tell you, what the show is about. I appreciate all of the support that we're getting from the show. Please continue to support. Thank you to Team Coco for coming together to get the word out there. Please continue to do that. Thank you for all my church family and people that have been praying for me. It's so important. It's so important to have people to support you or to have you, a part, just to let them know that you're thinking about them, you're loving on them, even when you don't see them for a period of time. It's so good um, to have that. So if you haven't did that today, just take a moment to even text someone while you on right now and just tell them how much you love them or how much you care about them. Okay, can you do that for me? Can you do that for me? So, one of the other things I wanted to share with you too, I watched the game the other night. I just want to give kudos to Jasmine Sullivan, to her. Great performance, great performance, great performance. Also coming to do a show. Well, I don't think she's coming to Cary, but she's going to be doing a virtual show in Cary. Is Yolanda Rayborn. So make sure you check her out. Um, she's going to be fabulous. So it's a Valentine show that's coming up. So make sure you check out Yolanda. Also, Valentine is coming up. If you have that special one, every day really should be Valentine's Day to your mate. But if you have that special one, make sure you don't forget to take care of them on Valentine's Day. So we want to make sure you don't forget about that. Also, on the show coming, we're going to be doing something a little different as well too. We're going to be having different pastors to come on, and evangelists, and in their ministries to come on and talk about some of the things that they're doing different since we've been in this pandemic. I know a lot of the churches is not open, but they are doing some Zoom and virtual sessions. So we want to make sure that we keep you connected with some of the pastors and the churches in the area so that you can continue to go to church virtually. So your excuse won't be, well, I can't get there because of COVID. But what you can do is you can watch in the presence of your own home. You can do that. So we're going to be talking to the different pastors and local churches to find out some information about them. Also, talking to people that's working in the food banks on different things. So if you are in need of food, in need of some type of assistance, we're going to be talking to some people very soon about helping you with that assistance. So this show is just going to be kind of lined up for a lot of things. So we want you to stay connected, stay tuned with me, follow me. I am on Facebook as well as Instagram. It's not hard to find these days with the social media. It's not hard to find anything yet here. So we just want to share that information with you. Again, you can see the website and my email address is going to be running at the bottom of the screen. So make sure that you check that out. And I'm just going to check and see if my guest is here with me tonight, because he is there's somebody that you really, really want to hear from and get connected to. I've been really knowing him for a very long time in the industry. He is a person that I know that I can call sometimes for advice, for just somebody to talk to about the industry. Because again, sometimes when you're working in the industry, it's so much going on, especially with the new artists. You want to make sure that you understand the level and what you need, your marketing tools, your exposure, your management, all these things. You have to know your business. If you don't know your business, it's going to be a problem. because so many people can take advantage of you. So when you have these type of industry friends that you can talk with, and you can share the information, and they give you the information that please take it, because they've been there, and they know what's going on. So they only giving you this information, to help you, not to hurt you. Yes, I do know that we have people out there that's jealous of you, that don't want to see you grow, that don't want to see you succeed, that don't want to help you. But you got to realize that's in everything. But if we take the time to take the information that someone's give you, whether you think that they don't like you or not, and use it to your benefit to help you grow, it's okay. You can't worry about what people are saying, what people are doing, or what they're saying about you. Because if you know and God knows, that's all you need. You don't need other people's approval. So these industry friends that I have, I'm so thankful for. I know that I can go to, and they'll keep it 100 with me. Sometimes I don't want to hear it. Sometimes I already know what they're going to say, but you kind of need the confirmation. And then sometimes I'm like, wow, I didn't look at it that way. I didn't look at it that way. So it's so much that's involved in connecting with these entertainers. And again, it's not only in singing; it's musicians. It's so much that you can do. It's working backstage. It's being a promoter, being a manager, being a producer. It's so much that you can do. So just open up your eyes and open up your mind to what you really want to do in life, whether it's music, whether it's starting your own business, whether it's connecting in social media, whether it's politics, whatever you want to do, set your mind to it and do it. That's my advice to you today. I remember when I needed to make a decision about going traveling 6,000 miles from here by myself. I was going to Casablanca, Morocco, but that was my first time. And I've never been out the country, and I didn't know where I was going. But I continued to talk, and we're going to have my agent, we're going to have her come on the show one day. Her name is Fatia Joy. So I didn't know. I didn't know what I was getting into. And all I knew was what they wanted me to come over and sing. But it was 6,000 miles away in a country that I wasn't familiar with. So when I prayed and when I spoke to my pastor and he said to go, and they prayed over me, and I knew that I was covered, I felt so much better. And when I got on that plane to begin to travel and just going over and seeing, the water and everything. And one thing that I did do that I shouldn't have done before I left was watch Taken, the movie Taken, because again, I'm going into a country that I've never been in. So, but once I arrived, and I'm telling you this for a reason, once I arrived and I got off the plane, and I saw that I didn't see anybody else that looked like me, I started to get nervous again. And I said, Lord, I need you to cover me. And when I began to go through the claim checks and different things and filling out information, and it was time for me to get my bags. And, in this country, they speak French and Arabic. So I said, okay, here we go. But I did have a chance to learn a little French. But again, I'm in a strange place, and I don't see anybody that look like me, and my phone don't work. But I just continue to pray. I continue to pray, continue to pray, continue to pray. And I started walking through. And when I came out the door to meet the person that was picking me up, I saw her. I saw her mom. I saw her dad. It was her family. And I knew at that moment, because again, she didn't know me as well. I knew it was just like the peace of God came over me, and I felt I was in good hands. And when we discussed it and talked about it a couple of months later, she told me, she said, Coco, I felt the same way. And I brought my parents. I brought my parents. So, and I said all that to say, and I've been going there since 2012. And I thank God for the opportunity and for me being able to meet people that do not look like me or from a different culture, to learn their culture, to learn their background about them. They didn't judge me and I didn't judge them. And that's the beauty of it. And we became family. So just telling you that to let you know that the sky is so big. It's unlimited. There's so much that you can do. There's so many places that you can go. And I know now, um, you probably can't because of the pandemic. But just dream big. I always say this: dream big. Because when you dream big, you see success and you trust God. You know that it's going to happen. Because again, when man says no, God says yes. So I just wanted to encourage you with that today, just to let you know that you can do anything. You can be anything. So don't stop. Don't let nobody stop you. Okay? Can I depend on you to have that in your mind as you, even when you leave the show, that you have to know that you can do anything. So I wanted to share that with you. And I know that I've been taking up some time talking to you. I know we have some guests in the background. I know the technical person is working with them in the back now to bring them on. But I wanted to give you this information to let you know what the show was about, and what we're trying to do here. Because again, if you have questions, if you're on now and you have questions that you want to ask, please do so. You can always reach out to me at Coco McMillan Music at gmail.com for any type of questions. And I'm on Facebook and Instagram. So please make sure you reach out to me to ask these questions, because it's important. And some of the things, if you don't know, if you don't know because you don't ask. It said, the Bible says, lack of knowledge, the wisdom is because of lack of knowledge. So if you know these things, then it can help you. And that's what we are here to do, to help you, learn about some of the things that you're interested in doing. I remember years ago, I worked for IBM. I worked for IBM for 10 years. During that time I was working for IBM, I was also working for Gerald Levert. So I would work full time, and then when it was time for me to go on tour with Gerald, IBM would let me leave and go on tour. I still had to do my work. I was still kind of working part time and still getting my work done. But for 10 years, it's like when I started there, this opportunity came up for me, and God allowed it. He made it possible for me to do both. You asked the question, how is the work life balance? Well, the thing that you have to do is, when you're doing your full-time job working in corporate America, that's what you do. That's your job. That's first. That's what you do. You make sure those things are done. And then when you bring in your music onto it, you got to do that too. So yes, you're going to be busy, but if you got the drive, the inspiration, and you love what you're doing, you can do both. And I encourage people. I encourage people all the time. Don't let one thing. If you have a passion for multiple of things, that's okay. Just make sure you're good at them, and do them. Try it. You don't know until you try. So the way to do it is try. So that was the opportunity for me that I was working for IBM, and I was doing recruitment. I was recruiting diversity students to come in and to work for IBM. So how cool is that? I had the best job ever, and I was traveling, recruiting these students, and we had managers and people that's coming to the events. It was of over 100 people at this event, and I had the best boss ever. Several bosses, Bill Lawrence, Jamila Petit. Oh man, we had a fabulous team. So working together as a team, I was able to do that as well as my music. So I'm just letting you know the sky's the limit. You can do a lot of things, and you just put your mind to it. You pray about it. You have to pray about everything that you do. You have to pray about it because if you don't pray about it, how, I mean, mm, it can work, but just think that if you prayed and given it to God, because He's the only one can make these things that you're dreaming of to happen. Yes, He puts people in place, but you have to pray. You have to go to Him and let Him know, that this is your desire. He's not asking for you to come to Him in a certain kind of way, to dress up, to look all fabulous. He wants you to come as you are, with a pure heart and a pure mind. I remember um, Evangelist Scania's a husband used to tell me, Deacon Scanias used to say, "Come to God with a clean heart and pure hands." That has stuck with me for the longest. So if you go to Him, with a pure heart, sincere, and just tell Him what you want, your desires, that you've been trying for so long, and you don't have the people to help you. You don't have the tools, you don't have the money, you don't have the connections. God will start putting those things in place for you. I'm telling you this because it has happened for me. And I continue to pray and to seek God first because I know that that's the only way that it can happen if I seek Him first. So if you're praying in your secret closet, you don't have to let anyone know what you're doing. You don't have to tell them what you pray for. When you're fasting, you don't have to tell them that you're fasting. You don't have to tell them what you're fasting for. You don't have to do any of those things. What you can do is just go to Him like I'm talking to you right now. Just like you're talking to your peers. Talk because He's that kind of guy. He's that person. He's that person that He don't judge you. I used to ask my pastor, why do people judge you? Why do people think they know things about you and they really don't know based on them looking into your life? Not in your life, but looking of what they may see. Why do they judge? It hurts. It hurts. It can bring you to a state of depression because you want to impress people, but you can't do that. If you go through life trying to impress people, trying to, do things that they want you to do, in a matter of time, you're going to be back where you started, in a circle, because you can't please people. But you want to please God because He's always there for you, and He's the man with the plan. He knew you before you were born. He know your destiny. He knows your journey. So you pray to Him. You come to Him in sincere humbleness. You can't come to him all cocky and say, okay, I know this is going to happen. No, no, come to him with humbleness. And I promise you that he will supply all of your needs according to his riches and glory. That's the God that I serve. That's the God that I am just in love with, because he loves me and he loves you. So just to give you, just some nuggets of even about what you want to do and how you want to do it and when you want to do it, pray. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all the things shall be added unto you. Where your feet would tread, he's with you. So every step that you make, every step that you take, he's with you. And I know, I've been there. You say, Coco, but I feel so alone. I know. But if you're sitting here watching tonight, I just want to encourage you that the best is yet to come for you. When you go to God right now, in a few minutes, later on, tonight before you go to sleep, when you go to him and you pray and you honestly mean what you say and want to grow, want to become closer to him, want him to guide you and direct your paths. Once you do that, you will begin to see the doors open for you. I promise you that. It may not be exactly how you thought it was going to go. It may not come exactly when you want it, but know that he's working in your favor. He's working in your favor as you're sleeping at night, as you rise in the morning. He's with you every minute, every second of the day. The devil is busy. He's trying to steal your joy. He's trying to steal your future, your children, your husband, your wife, your family, your job. But let me tell you something. Let me tell you, the devil has no authority. He has no power. He may could try to pull you for a second, but when you tap into God's word and his love, man, I'm telling you, I was so broken, so hurt many times. And I'm a Christian, I'm saved, know the Lord, but you still get broken. You still get hurt. You still just get depressed. You get down. You lose your faith because you cannot believe some of the things that's going on in your life and that's distracting you, that's coming against you, that's overtaking you, that makes you want to do things that you know that's not good for you. But God, he will give you that peace that passes understanding. And I don't know why I'm led this way tonight to do this, but it's for somebody. I really feel that there's somebody that's watching tonight that is really going through a tough time, whether it's physically, whether it's mentally, emotionally. I feel you. And I just want to say, I'm with you. I've been there. And just keep your head up. Be encouraged. Be encouraged. Be encouraged. It may seem hard right now. It may seem tough right now. It may seem like you have no avenue to go down, no journey. You don't see things clear. Everything is kind of boggled up in your mind that you can't even think straight. But I'm here. I'm with you. And there's millions of people out there just like you. But if we pull together and help each other and grow strong together, one love, one God, and just be there for each other. When you hurt, I hurt. When I hurt, you hurt. So I comfort you. I encourage you. I don't go to my friends and say, that's what she get, that's what he get, or I told him that wasn't going to happen. No, let's encourage our sister and brother. Let's encourage them. Let's be that trailblazer for them. Let's be that one that they can look up to and say, when I was down, when I was about to commit suicide, when I was about to jump off a bridge, when I was about to overdose, when I was about to drink myself to death, somebody picked up the phone and called me. And it may not even be the person that you think is going to call, your closest friend, your family, your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother. But it could be somebody that have been praying for you. Because we pray and we say, Lord, put my prayer, put my whatever I'm going through in somebody's spirit to help me. So that person is on the other side praying for you, and they can see and feel things going on with you. And they call you just to give you some encouraging words. We need that. We all need that. So just want to encourage you, to let you know that the best is yet to come for you. I don't know what's going on with you. I don't know why it happened. I don't know what it is, but I know that God can change it. God can fix it. And it's good to have friends. It's good to have industry friends. It's good to have church friends that you can talk to, that you can trust. And so, with all of that said, I hope that helps somebody today. I really do, because I felt your pain. So, with that said, as I said to you earlier, having industry friends, there's many times that I've called this person to help me to make a decision, to help me talk about the industry, to help me with my playlist, to help me do this. And he is a 17, I want to say 17 Stellar Award nominee. He is two-time Soul Train Awards nominee. He is a Dove Awards nominee. He is a two-time Grammy Awards nominee as well. He is the winner of 6 Stellar Awards. So I want you to welcome my friend. I hope he's still here with us backstage, Mr. Keith Wonderboy Johnson. If he's here, let me just, okay, if he's here. So as he's coming in, well, that's not Keith.
I was on the line with Keith, and I was on the line with Keith, and he's having some technical difficulties. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna do this show again next week, and hopefully he has time in his schedule that he can do it. But right now we're having a problem with his telephone. A lot of times, when you're planning a great show, but I wanted to come up for another reason. I wanted to come up to say you have just done an outstanding job of giving the public some real talk. A lot of times people get online and they don't share their life, they don't share their soul, they don't share their worth.
Yeah.
And people get that you just on here to be on here. And it really looks like this show is going to be an outstanding show because you are actually becoming a star. And for those out there who do not know, this is like your fourth show, your third or fourth show. And this is the very first time that we couldn't get a guest on. And I've been working with Keith for about 44 minutes now to get him on. But what we'll do is, we'll do the show again for all the fans out there who was waiting for Keith Wonderboy Johnson to come on because he's an outstanding singer,
Yes.
one of the legends of our time. And
yes.
You better preach.
And he said, "Tell you better preach." And so,
hey, Keith.
well, and so he's still talking a little bit, but what I would like to say to you at this moment, because I know you've been talking for almost a whole hour, I just wanted to come in and kind of ask you a couple of questions because there are a couple of things you did mention, and I wanted your audience to make sure that they got.
Sure.
And those things are, how can people get on your show, and what is the criteria for people to get on your show?
Okay. So they can certainly contact me, email me at cocomacmillanmusic@gmail.com. And you'll see that running on the screen there. So again, it's cocomacmillanmusic@gmail.com. Again, one of the criteria is that you have to be working on something. So if you're in entertainment, you have a song that you're about to release or something that you're working on, a video project. That is one of the criteria, as well as if you're running a business and you want to get some publicity, promotion on your business, to promote your business, to promote social media nuggets. That's what some of the criteria for the show. You have to be actually doing something that can help our viewers, because there's a lot of viewers out there that want to know how you start a business, that want to know how did you become a singer, or what's the tools, what's the plan. So that's what the platform is kind of set up for.
Well, I know that a lot of things happened in the past in terms of when you talk to your guests, and when you get your guests on, what are some of the things that you want to know from your guests? Do you want to know their background, or do you want to just know what they're doing in the future?
I want to know everything. I want to know your secrets. I want to know your challenges. But I want to know where, when, how did they get started in the music business? I want to know who are some of their musical inspiration and why. And if they have talents or something that the people, their viewers or their fans don't know about them. Because a lot of times, when people see you perform, that's all they see.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know I like kickboxing.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know some of the things that some of the artists. So I want to know those things. I also want to know and share if they've been to other concerts and watch other artists, and what do they take out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, I remember one time I went to a Beyonce concert, and I did ask my pastor. I did. I said, I just want to see her show because she's such an excellent entertainer.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I did. And I took so much away from the show. Now I can't sit there, and I think she squatted for almost an hour to sing. No, but I took a lot of things from that. And the last thing I want to know from the guests is, where do they see themselves in the next couple of years? Being that we are going through this devastating pandemic, how are they dealing with it? How are they doing their shows? What are some of the creative ideas that they're coming in to present their music or their show? So those are some of the things I want to tap into when I bring the artists on.
Well, I noticed when you talked earlier, you might have to mute yourself. I noticed when you talked earlier, you talked about a health side of your show, and women and men, African-American men and women, a lot of times they don't deal with their health issues. Men, colon cancer, men, stomach cancer, women, fibroids, women, stomach cancer. We don't never talk about stomach cancer for women, and then breast cancer. And then with the whole pandemic that's going on, it seems that everybody is looking at that as the only disease that's killing people. And we have many, many more diseases that are affecting the African American community. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think that we really need to, and that's why I want to bring some of the guests on the show. We really need to educate ourselves, with these things that we have these health issues. Because again, like you said, we don't know, but if we have someone that's experts in this that kind of guide us or give us links and resources that we can tap into to learn more about your situation, I think it would be helpful because in my case, I didn't know. I was uneducated about fibroids. I was very, and the first time I had the surgery, I did know that it was possible to come back, but I didn't know the extreme. And then the second time it came back and I had the surgery, which was what, last year? Um, the surgery went well with the fibroids, but when I woke up, I couldn't walk. And it had nothing really to do, I think, with the fibroids. So it's so many things, so many stories that people have to share, and so we can educate people on different health issues. So I think it's very important because if we don't know, that can really affect our lives.
Well, I think a lot of times people don't really understand the pressure and the power of not only education,
Hmm.
but the power of having somebody to talk to about what's going on. And it looks like I thought I was taking over your show there for a minute.
I was like, wait a minute now.
But a lot of times having somebody to talk to about these issues really help. And then sometimes we just in fear of dealing with situations in our life. And when you talk about not being able to walk, I know that had to be traumatic for you.
Yes.
And just as it's probably traumatic for a lot of people with the pandemic, where they can't go out and perform, what are some of the things that you've been able to do other than create this wonderful show? What are some of the things that you've been able to do? Because for those who just tune in, you are a phenomenal artist. You're a phenomenal singer, and you've been singing for so long. And it's just as I said to somebody earlier today when they asked me, they say, how am I handling the pandemic? Because I'm generally everywhere on the front row somewhere all over the world.
Right.
And now I'm on the front row at my house on the computer, and they were asking,
Right.
how do you deal with it? And I simply told them that because I'm an artist and I draw and I paint, I'm just as fine at home painting as in the street. But that's still a monetary loss for not being in the street,
Right.
or being out there, being able to talk to people, or being able to garner new business. Talk a little bit about that.
Yes, it was traumatic for me. I mean, because again, I was used to traveling, and I have a coffee shop that's located inside the Cary Amtrak depot, and so once the pandemic started, I had to close my coffee shop as well. So one of the first things I started doing, well, I panicked for a couple of weeks. The first thing, but then I said, okay, you have to be creative. You have to start being strategic here to figure out some things you can do. And thank God, one of my friends called me. Her name is Cynthia Tyre. She called me about an opportunity of selling masks. Because of the pandemic. So she really turned me on to this guy, a partner in Philadelphia, that I was able to partner with him to start selling masks. So that was my first thing, and it was designer masks, your Louis Vuitton, your Gucci, all these masks. And so that way I started doing that, and that was another tap into a connection of people that didn't know me, to sell my masks. I was doing that, as well as I work for in-home music teachers. That is in-home music teachers is a company that they actually have artists or musicians to go out and teach music. And so I'm one of the voice teachers for in-home music. So I do that online, as well as just doing things like my show, like this show, or just coming up with creative ideals and things to to have income. Even though this show is not. We're not paid for this show yet because this is a platform. Most of the donations, when we started doing that, will go to causes like the School of Arts or like NAFAM, Women Who Jam, things like that, just to really support artists, because there's a lot of people out there that's not working. So that's some of the things that I've been doing, just really trying to network and trying to bring a connection of people together, so we can all do it together. You understand? Together. So that's mine. That's what I'm trying to do, what I've been doing.
That's what it. I'm looking in the chat, and there are a couple of people in the chat. Lakeisha Johnson and Quantina Fielder. Would you like to talk with them at this point, or are they're your guests?
They are. Oh. Okay, Keisha and Quanti. They're actually members from my church. Thank you for your support. I'm so glad to know that they're on. They are members on at my church.
Oh, okay.
Phenomenal ladies. Oh, Kiki. Oh my God. And if you want to, that's fine. I know we got just a few more moments here. We have about 5 minutes that's left on the show, but we don't get a chance to bring them on. Hi, ladies. Thank you so much for joining. And I just want to say something really quick though. For those that do not know, he just kind of came on and kind of started talking. But let me introduce to you the young man that we have with me, Dr. Eric Kelly. He is the CEO of Black Expo Business USA. So this is the man with a plan, and he is the producer of the show. He's given me this platform and opportunity to present this information to help you, as I said earlier, help me help you to reach your goals. So I am so thankful for Dr. Kelly, as well as our technical director in the back, Mr. Mark Lee, for giving me this opportunity. And these are the kind of people that you need in your life, because I hadn't spoken with Eric in a couple of years, and he didn't even know that this was on my vision board. And that's what I tell you, God works in mysterious ways. So I appreciate him for giving me the opportunity.
Well, I've been knowing you for quite some time. And one of the things that I noticed when I first met you was that you were a phenomenal woman, and that you were set up to do great things. And, a lot of times I tell people, you don't worry about when you meet somebody. You just continue to keep up with those people.
Right.
And I know every time I've seen you, I've always said to you, I think you can do great things. And I believe that this show is a great accomplishment. And even with some of the hiccups that we're having, when this thing is running smooth as silk, there will be so many people that's going to be so proud of what you've been doing. And I'm pretty sure Oprah didn't start out. I'm sure the Steve Harvey didn't start out great. And even as I look back on my career, I remember Jim Fields asked me to do a show way back in the day. And the first show that I did, it was a disaster. I really didn't know what I was doing. And after the show, Jim said to me, he said, Eric, you got to think about what you're doing before you do it. And so I went home and I turned on the television set and I turned the volume off. And for about 5 hours, I watched the news. I watched the people.
Wow.
I watched how they was moving around. I watched how they did their head. I watched how they got involved. And you notice I'm doing some of these things right now. I
Yeah.
watched how they moved on the screen. And then my next show, I nailed it, because I'm a talker anyway. So I nailed it. And Jim said, "What happened?" And I said to Jim, I said, I I listened to what you said to me, because a lot of times when you're doing things, people don't listen. They
Yes.
they're talking and they're hearing what's inside of their head while you're
Mhm.
talking,
Right.
and they're not listening to you. And one of the things I want to say to you is that you have listened to us, to me and Mark, work with you on this show, and it's manifesting itself right now, because nobody knew that you would talk for 40 minutes. 40 minutes when people have a problem just talking 5 minutes. You did 40 minutes. So I think everybody in the audience ought to at least clap their hands and email you and on Facebook for what you did tonight. We look forward to you coming back next week. And
Yes.
of course, we will work with your guests, and we'll keep it where it is. Because as I said before, we're going to make sure that we do all we can to help you. And you got about 1 minute. You got 1 minute to get out of here, so we're gonna let you get out. And thank you so very much for allowing me to be your guest on the show. And for those who don't know, I told her I wasn't gonna be her guest, but and I wanted people to see the glow and how you feel when you're doing your show. And I
Thank
want to say thank you. I'm gonna do my thing, like get out of here. Talk to you the next time. Bye bye.
you. Oh, wow, wow. So you have heard it from the man himself, Dr. Eric Kelly. Again, he is the CEO of Black Expo Business. So again, if you want to promote your business. He has an event every year. I think this year he had the event, he had over 30,000 people that was a part of the Black Expo. So please make sure that you connect with him as well, Dr. Eric Kelly, as well as Mark. Thank you so much, Mark, on the technical side. Thank you, Team Coco, for all that you do. And again, you know, the Lord works in mysterious ways. Everything happens, for a reason. Because again, I sense um, the feeling, the hurt through this broadcast, that somebody was out there just in need of support and encouragement. And that's what we're here to do. And that's what this show is set up for, to give you the knowledge, to give you advice, to help you through tough times. So that's why it's not only about entertainment and business, but you got your social media, you got your current events, you have your mental and health thing. Because a lot of times, we go through things in life and it's mental. It's a mental thing. It's in our heads. It's really not coming to, it's just in our heads. And, you speak those things of which they were. So you can't speak negative to a situation. You can't speak when things are falling apart or going wrong. You can't fall off the cliff and, just explode or spaz out, or have this rage in you, but you have to just trust God, and you have to be connected and have that relationship with Him. It's you and Him. It's not you and Him and everybody else. It's just you and Him. So He knows the relationship. He knows you. So you can come to Him any way, long as it's sincere and you want to try to do better. Okay, so that is my word and my thought for today. Again, I do apologize that Mr. Keith Wonderboy was having some technical difficulties, but we will have him back on, as very, very soon, and we will let you know when he's going to be on the show. But I do pray that those who's watching, that you enjoyed it, that something I said tonight will help you for the rest of the week, for the weekend, throughout life. Because what I tell you is things that I've been through and I experienced. And so I'm only telling you to help you. So again, God bless you. Know that the best is yet to come and trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not to your own understanding, but acknowledge Him, and He will direct your paths. Thank you so much for watching the Coco McMillan Show, and we'll see you next week.